Hello everyone, welcome to BioWise with Aanchal. Today we are going to study about excretory system. Now this chapter plays a very important role in your ICSE board examination because around 5 to 10 marks questions can be easily framed from this chapter. So let us be quick in starting with the revision without wasting time. Okay, so first is the three words, that is excretion, secretion and egestion. Okay, now those who have subscribed my channel, thank you so much, and those who have not yet subscribed, please subscribe my channel. So let us go into the topics. Excretion means removal of metabolic waste. Removal of metabolic waste. What are metabolic waste in our body? By any metabolic waste means any metabolic reactions we have in our system. You have carbon dioxide, you have water vapor, you have nitrogenous waste, right? And excess of water, excess of vitamins which are not utilized in your system. The best part of your body is your body tries to maintain an equilibrium, and in maintaining so, it just keeps what is needed and removes what is not needed. So here you can see this nitrogenous waste, if you focus on, it can be in three forms. It can be removed from our system: urea, uric acid and ammonia. Okay. Now based on the type of nitrogenous waste that can be removed from the organisms can be aminotelic, that is the release ammonia like fishes. It can be uricotelic, that is like pigeons and all, and reptiles. You can see a white color dot present in their you can say excretory waste, or on your car shields if you have seen the droppings of the birds, you realize there is a white spot, that is the uric acid. And higher organisms release urea. Urea is synthesized in liver by a cycle called ornithine cycle that we will study in higher classes. You just understand that liver is a place where excess of protein is changed into ammonia, and ammonia is stored in the form of urea. Urea is less toxic as compared to ammonia. So the synthesis of urea takes place in liver, and filtration of blood takes place in the kidney. Please understand the difference. Urea is synthesized in liver and kidney just filters it out. Okay. Secretion means any release from cell which is useful for us. Okay, any release from the cell which is useful to us. And egestion is the opposite of ingestion, that is related to your digestive system. Do not get confused with excretion and defecation. Defecation is not excretion. Excretion is urination. Am I clear? This much is clear to everyone. So let us now move ahead of the waste substances that we have already discussed: carbon dioxide, water, nitrogenous waste, urea, uric acid, ammonia. The nitrogenous waste present in our system is urea. Urea is synthesized in liver and it is filtered in the kidney. Any doubt? So let me quickly rub it. Now next topic that we will be studying about are the waste. What are the waste that can be produced by our excretory system? So waste includes carbon dioxide and water vapor. Then you have nitrogenous waste. This is important, children. Nitrogenous waste. Okay. Then you have excess of vitamins. Excess of vitamins, especially the water soluble vitamins, that is B and C. Then excess of salt. Then you have bile pigments. okay, bile pigments and excess of water. Excess of water. These are the nitrogenous, these are the metabolic waste of our system. So based on this, we have excretory organs. Excretory organs. The main one is the kidney, the urinary bladder, the ureter and the urethra. But there are certain accessory excretory organs which includes skin, lungs and liver. I will come to the main one, obviously that is the chapter, so we will be talking about the same. But before that, you understand skin. Skin removes waste in form of sweating. Generally, sweating is not the mode of excretion. Why sweating is needed? It is to cool down your body when it is too hot. Evaporation of sweat helps in cooling down the body. But at the same time, it is responsible to the excess loss of water from the system. And along with the water, there are certain amount of salt and also little amount of urea released in our sweat. Lungs releases carbon dioxide and water vapor, and liver is not directly involved in excretion, but it helps in urea synthesis, and at the same time the bile pigments. The bile pigments, the main one, the bilirubin and biliverdin, there are two. So we will be studying only about bilirubin. Okay, now bilirubin is a yellow color pigment that is formed because of the breakdown of hemoglobin. Okay, so this is secreted by the liver into the bile, which releases into the duodenum at the time of digestion. So in that process, you will find that the color of the fecal matter is because of the presence of bilirubin. At the same time, there is one more pigment which is called urochrome. Urochrome is responsible for the pale yellow color of the urine. Is that clear? So urochrome is released in the urine, which gives it a pale color, and bilirubin is actually put into the digestive system, where it is released along with the fecal matter, imparting it a specific color. Is this clear, children, everyone? So let me quickly rub the board. So coming back, we will be talking about the main excretory system, that is your kidney and the related organs. You know that any organ system is comprised of various types of cells. Cells are the structural and functional unit. So in this case also, the structural and functional unit of kidney is the nephrons. So we will be talking about kidney, its structure and then the nephrons. So let us quickly draw the kidney. The kidney, the shape is the kidney bean shaped, right? It has got a cortex, like what the every organ has, no? The brain, they all have outer cortex. The kidney also has got an cortex. Okay. Then there are certain pyramids, the triangle pyramids. Okay, these are the pyramids. Now the end of the pyramids are called the papillae. I will be labeling it. This is called the papillae. Okay, and there are certain types of small vessels, tube like structures coming out from each papillae, which empties the urine which is formed into the small blood vessels, that is called the calyx, minor calyx, forming the in the larger tubule, that is the major calyx, and finally into the renal pyramid. Renal pyramid finally then gives out the ureter, right? So this is how the kidney looks like. Now these medulla area, this is the cortex area, extends in between the two pyramids. Okay, this extends in between the two pyramids, giving it a specific column shape. Okay. So this is the, so finally when you have to label it, the outer one is the renal capsule, then you have got the renal medulla, in between the two pyramids is the renal column. Okay, this is the renal pyramid. Okay, here you have the renal pelvis. Renal pelvis. The place where this is joined, the ureter is joined and all, that is called the hilum. Where have you come across this word hilum in any other chapter in your 9th standard or 10th standard? If you remember, put it in the comment section. Hilum I am talking about. You have got this word. Please tell me, where have you come across this word in the comment section? Okay, and then you have got the ureter. Is this clear? So you have got the capsule, the column, the medulla, pyramid, pelvis, hilum, ureter. And now when you have to understand what did I tell you? What is the structural and functional unit of kidney? That is the nephrons. Where the nephrons lie? The nephrons lie in the renal cortex. I have not mentioned the renal cortex in the diagram. Let us mark it, renal cortex. Renal cortex appears granulated. And why granulated? Because of the presence of nephrons head, the proximal convoluted tubule. The loop of Henle goes into the medulla and the collecting duct also goes in the medulla. This gives medulla a striped structure. So medulla appears striped and the cortex appears dotted, right? So generally it is all dotted structures with all stripes going into the medulla. Okay, so location of the different parts of the nephrons, you can understand the head, that is the Bowman's capsule, the proximal convoluted tubule, the distal convoluted tubule lies in the cortex, and the loop of Henle and the collecting duct lies in the medulla. Is this clear? So now let us move ahead with the entire system and how it works. So I will draw the diagram of the entire system on the side. It's the renal, now this is the kidney, right? Renal word is used for kidneys. The right kidney is little lower than the left kidney because it has to accommodate the liver, the largest gland of your body. Yes, the liver lies around this here. So it's around 1.5 centimeter below the liver. You have the right kidney, right hand, right kidney, and then it gives rise to a tube like structure that is called the ureter. Okay, this is called the ureter, and you have the urinary bladder and the urethra. In males, the urethra is larger as compared to the females. Okay. Now the entire kidney has got the blood supply, as you all know. So the renal artery will bring the blood into the kidney. Yes, you can draw this way, and the renal vein takes the deoxygenated blood from the kidney. Okay. This is your, is it clear? So the point of attachment where all the veins and the arteries are entering and leaving your kidney, that is called the hilum, and the ureter also bulges out from the, and that is renal pelvis, gets collected at the papillae. Okay, this is called the papillae. Okay, Papillae has got smaller tubules. I told you, like they are called the minor calyx. They bulge into the major calyx and finally into the pelvis area. Then that empties the entire thing in the ureter. So, small drop by drop the urine is formed in the nephrons. There are around 20 million nephrons in both our kidneys. Right, in both our kidneys we have got around 20 million nephrons, and 20 million nephrons make up the urine. In a day, 160 liters of glomerulus filtrate. Now that will finally get or give us only around 1 to 2 liters of urine output in a day. In 1 minute, our blood, the entire blood has to move into the kidney, and 350 to 400 times the blood goes to your kidney, the entire blood volume. So 1 to 2 liter of blood is filtered every minute, right? These are certain important and interesting facts about your kidney. So I hope this is clear. The diagram can be asked to draw. Labeling is easy. This is your right kidney, this is your left kidney, the renal artery, renal vein, the ureter, urinary bladder, and the last one is urethra. There is a sphincter muscles present at the point of urethra. When your bladder is full, your brain gives you a sensation that you should go and visit the washroom. Then you ask, ma'am, may I go to the washroom? So that is what your brain tells when your urinary bladder is full. In nervous system, we have studied that during the sympathetic nervous system, the muscles relaxes. So urinary bladder muscles, the sphincter muscles also relaxes. So it happens that when you are under stress or when you are scared, the urine passes out without your will, right? So that happens under stress or in a fear condition. Is this clear, children? May I rub the board? You can take a screenshot if you want. Both the diagrams can be asked for drawing, okay? The next topic that we are going to cover in this chapter is about the nephrons, the structural and functional unit of the kidney. Now, nephrons play a very important role in formation of urine. So, what are the steps of synthesis of urine? We'll discuss as we move with the diagram. So, now when you talk about the diagram of nephron, it's a very easy diagram that you need to know, okay? Draw a cup and you have actually a very convoluted structure followed by a loop of Henle, and then you have got the collecting duct. Okay. Okay. Now this is your nephron, simple diagram of nephron. This is the Bowman's capsule. Okay. Now this is your nephron. Now what happens, as you know that the renal artery enters your kidney, it bifurcates into many arterioles, which are smaller arteries. So one of those is the afferent arteriole, okay, and then this goes out into the efferent arteriole, and this is basically it gets bifurcated into small arterioles and makes a network of arteries in the cup called the Bowman's capsule. You need to remember that when you draw the diagram, the afferent should be wider in diameter as compared to the efferent. This difference in the diameter helps in creating a kind of pressure here, which helps in ultrafiltration. So the first step of urine formation is ultrafiltration. So first what happens? Ultrafiltration. Okay, so what happens? As the blood moves here and it leaves, now this blood vessel will go and surround the entire loop of Henle and will converge into the veins. So finally the veins will take the deoxygenated blood but no urea out of the kidney. Okay, so this is your renal vein going out, right? This is a kind of what to say, network around, capillary network around your nephron. So now what happens, ultrafiltration happens because of the change in the diameter. So as more blood enters here, there exists a pressure. That pressure leads to the filtration of substances present in the blood. Blood cells should not pass. If blood cells pass, then we need to visit a doctor, right? So blood, we should not bleed while urinating. So the blood does not pass, only the excess of material. What are the things that come out? The water, then you have excess of glucose, amino acids, right? All these things, K plus ions, Na plus ions, chloride ions, all this goes into the Bowman's capsule and it forms the glomerular filtrate. Okay, glomerular filtrate. It is around, if you say in 24 hours, it is around 160 liters of the filtrate which is being produced. So when you have to name the things, this is the Bowman's capsule. This is the glomerulus. Together they are called the Malpighian body or the capsule. This can be asked in the exam to draw. And what is the drawing? This head is the Malpighian capsule, where you have to mention afferent, that is afferent, A for arrival, A for afferent arteriole. It has to be wider. And this one is efferent, E for exit, E for efferent arteriole. Okay, the difference in the diameter helps in ultrafiltration. The question can be asked in any way. Either they can ask you to draw a Malpighian body, or they can ask you to explain the reason for the process of ultrafiltration, or they can ask you the structural difference between the afferent arteriole and the efferent arteriole, or they can ask you the role of these arterioles and their difference in the diameter for ultrafiltration. So you have to answer accordingly. Then come this one, PCT. PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. All the abbreviations are covered in one of my videos. There are around 36 in the entire book. You can go through in the description, the link is given. So PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. DCT, distal, distal convoluted tubule. PAS, proximal convoluted tubule. Loop of Henle. This loop of Henle is in the renal medulla, which gives it a striped appearance, right? And then you have the collecting duct or the tubule. Collecting tubule. It is connected to many nephrons. It may be connected to many nephrons. Fine. So now what happens? The first step is ultrafiltration. Abhi, what has happened? There is around 160 liters of filtrate which has entered into your Bowman's capsule. Now that has to be, you have to have some reabsorption done, because we cannot urinate 160 liters of water from our system. The entire homeostasis, or you can say stability or osmoregulation, will get spoiled. So we need to conserve water, and we cannot throw out glucose, amino acid. The body has spent enough energy in taking these substances out from our digestive system. So we are not going to waste them. So what happens? Reabsorption takes place, where the important molecules like glucose, amino acids, the ions are reabsorbed in the blood. Now while the reabsorption is taking place, the filtrate becomes reduced in the quantity and concentration. Now the filtrate moves into the DCT. Here what happens? Reabsorption of water takes place to make the urine more concentrated. So concentrated urine has to be formed. So more of water is absorbed here. Now this reabsorption of water depends upon a hormone which is called ADH, antidiuretic hormone. The other name is vasopressin. Vasopressin. This is released by the posterior lobe of pituitary gland, right? Diuresis. Diuresis is passing out dilute urine. Which hormone is responsible? ADH, antidiuretic hormone. So if you have enough water, then the urine will have water in it. But when suppose water intake is less and your body needs to conserve water, then ADH is released, so that the reabsorption of water can be increased and you pass out less water in your urine. Is that clear? So osmoregulation is a very important function of kidney. Okay. So what is the next step? I'll get back to osmoregulation. Reabsorption. That is reabsorption of important substances back into the blood is reabsorption. Third one is tubular secretion. Tubular secretion. Now what happens? Suppose in reabsorption generally all the ions, everything will be reabsorbed. Sometimes the thing which has to be thrown out is also reabsorbed. Then the body has to spend some energy and forcefully secrete out the substances which is not needed. Here the drugs also come into picture. The medicine we take, the excess of it has to be excreted out in our urine. So that is done by forceful expenditure of energy. So in this case what happens? When there is tubular secretion from the blood only, there will be secretions, that is the material will be taken up and the tubules, these tubules will secrete it into the urine, right. So that is tubular secretion. Here energy expenditure is required, and in tubular secretions potassium ions, chloride ions and even drugs, they are secreted back into the urine. These are the three steps, and the last step is excretion, that is release of urine. Okay, this is the entire process of urine formation. Now as we have seen what are the things going in, coming back, going in, coming back, and finally the urine is being formed. So when the urine is formed, there are two questions which are asked in the examination. Name two organic component of the urine, name two inorganic component of the urine. When you talk about organic component, talk about urea, uric acid, creatinine, okay. These are the organic constituents of your urine, okay. Another one that is inorganic, potassium chloride and sodium chloride, NaCl and KCl, two salts. Please remember the name, there are only two salts. In chemistry you learn so many salts. Here you have to learn only two salts, KCl and NaCl, right. So these two are the inorganic component, and urea, uric acid, creatinine, these are the organic component. Is that clear? Any doubt children? You can take a screenshot. Now in the entire process of urine formation, there are certain substances which should not be present in the blood. Which should not be present in the blood. What are those? We will see. So next what we will be talking about is what should not be present in your urine. So the first component which should not be present in your urine is blood. If by any chance blood is present, the disease is called hematuria. Okay, hem means blood, urea is urination. If glucose is present in your blood, the disease is glucosuria. Okay. If albumin is a very larger protein. You know what is albumin? Albumin is basically present in the egg. It is also present in our blood. It's a protein, important protein. So by any chance, if the permeability of the Bowman's capsule is increased, that can be because of the increase in the blood pressure, or it can be because of bacterial infections. So in that case, the permeability increases and the albumin, the protein which should remain in the blood, goes into the urine. That is called albumin urea. The names are so simple, the name and urea. Okay. Now bile pigments, they should also not be present in the urine. It happens in case of jaundice, right? That happens in case of jaundice. So the bile pigment starts coming out in the urine, the color of the urine becomes very yellow, and even the eyes and the skin of the patient also becomes yellow, right? Then there is increase in urea in the blood when the kidney does not function properly. It is not released in the urine. Okay, these all things we are talking about is when these materials are released in the urine. What is the disease? Now when urea is accumulated in the body because the kidney does not function properly, that disease is called uremia. Okay, so these are certain diseases that you must understand. There is one more disease that you should know, cholera. You must be wondering why I am talking about cholera in the excretory system, right? Now cholera is a disease where digestive system is suffering, right? What is cholera? Vibrio cholerae bacteria enters into your system, releases toxins, and you start vomiting and passing out watery stool. That is, water is lost either from the vomit or from the stool. In both the cases, the body's water is lost and the body has to conserve water. So ADH, antidiuretic hormone, starts playing its role. Okay, and what it does, it stops the urination process. So our body does not urinate when you have severe infection of cholera. And if you do not urinate, if you do not pass out urine, urea will get accumulated in your blood, leads to a very toxic condition that is called uremia. If by any chance the kidney fails, I am not talking about cholera now, if by any chance the kidney fails, then urea has to be cleared. Then we go for dialysis. Dialysis is a medical procedure where blood is taken out from our renal artery and it goes for the external process of purification, where by the process of osmosis urea is removed and the clean blood is sent back into the vein, right? And that is done in the medical procedure. Generally it takes around 4 to 6 hours for one process, and depending upon the severity of the conditions, you will be told how many dialysis is needed per week. Is this clear, children, everyone? So we have talked about almost everything about the chapter. What I was talking about earlier is osmoregulation. So osmoregulation is a very important function of kidney. Okay, osmoregulation is maintaining your blood composition. So body tries to maintain all the composition of your blood either by allowing it to be excreted, not allowing it to be excreted, holding it back. That entire process is osmoregulation. So kidney serves two functions. One is purification of the blood, or you can say filtration of the blood, removal of the nitrogenous waste by the process of filtration, and osmoregulation. So two functions of kidney is important. In summer, we tend to drink lots of water. Still, we do not urinate much. Any reason, you know? You can put it in the comment section if you know. Yes? Now, what happens during summer? We tend to sweat a lot. So, lots of water from our body is lost. So, in order to conserve the water, we pass out less urine. In winter, there is nothing like sweating as such. So, the water is being passed out in the urine very frequently. Is this clear? So, with this, we are done with the complete chapter of excretory system. Any doubt, any problem, put it in the comment section. Like, share and subscribe if you think it is worth sharing. Happy learning, children. Thank you.